I've got some pin drivers here from 7-Eleven L, and if you've watched my channel, I've done several videos on 7-Eleven tools. They're a Taiwanese manufacturer or reseller, however you guys want to see it, but they actually do a really good job in specializing in the more finite, highlighting and refining those fine details that you'll see on tools. And it's almost like they're turning it into an art, and I appreciate that. I think especially when it comes to smaller kind of like EDC tools that they make. And these two items here are essentially that. So these are going to be their pen driver, TS and the TG. I'll flip it over here for you guys to see them here too. There's their part numbers up along the top. And these were made for the USA market, and of course made in Taiwan. Now these are just like little paper holders, but I mean, even the packaging, they take the time. These are like laser cut paper packaging. But we'll pull out these drivers, let you guys see them. We'll go through them side by side too. But what's just really cool about them is the overall feel, the machining that's done to it, all the radiusing they've done to corners, the fit and finish and feel is just superb. Right, even this down here, if you want to call it knurling, like they're just taking different steps to solidify that the fit and finish is great. Now these are going to be stainless steel that they've machined. And they can obviously come with this key ring. This is threadable, so loosen it all the way, and off comes the end. You can put on your key ring or on a carabiner if you like to carry it on a carabiner, and carry your tool bag. And what's great about this one is it releases right here. So push down and then pull, allows it to release off, and that gives you your hex drive. This is going to be your 1/4 inch hex. And if you look inside there, you'll see there's a magnet at the bottom. That's going to be a 4mm hex. So that comes in handy if you like these little hand drivers and these little bits that you run. You could just stick that inside there and it holds it in place. Now that that's released, this now turns into a hand driver. And this back part spins, but wait, it pops out. And guess what? Another 1/4 inch hex drive with a magnet down the bottom. Okay, so that means you could take essentially any of your 1/4 inch hex drives and drop it down inside there. And you're like, but wait, now I got this sticking out the back. What do I do? Well, I'll take out that bit. This plug now sits on the back. And guess what? You could use it like so in your hand as a small bit driver. It's just, I mean, that's actually really ingenious thinking when you come to think about it. Like it's just, I mean, you pick the side you want to work with. The problem is like storage. You don't get to really store a whole lot. I feel like most people, especially for the size of this and the dexterity, you got better grip on this end. I feel like most people are going to take and probably use it more so for the 4mm hex side. And I think there's a solution to this, because I think I like that they put the ring here. It gives you an option to carry it. But the problem is it passes right through the middle. I think what they should have done, instead of running it straight through, they should have probably put the hole on at a 90. So here is where it's currently at, and then drill another hole right here, and then just wrap that tightly through the corner. It doesn't really matter that it goes through the center. And you'll see why in a second. I want to show you two engagement. This one uses, this is actually a little bit different than some of the ones we did a review on. See that? See the ball detents? 1, 2, 3. They put them on one side on the 3 corners. I haven't seen that one, I don't think, at all lately. But that's how they engage, and it does a good job engaging. Okay, there you go. So now your bit comes through, and depending on what bit you have, that could be a little bit more cumbersome, but the Phillips pops through there. I mean, it still works fine, but now you have already ready to go storage. Pop that sucker out, and you're ready to rock. That works fine. I mean, again, it's going to be small here, so you're going to have like excellent dexterity, but check this out. It pivots to 90. It's got a ball detent. They'll let it switch either side, And guess what? Oh, wow, I don't have the dexterity, but now I do. Because you have like a semi-T handle in your hand. Now you have that extra dexterity. And that works for the other direction as well. If you flip it over, pull that out, flip a new little spinner to the other side. I love that spinner idea. It floats actually there really nicely. Put it over this side. Oh, again, we're going to use it as a finger driver. Again, this side is not as easy to grip, but don't fear. Go ahead. And it gives you, just think of the engineering one involved in this. It gives you the longer handle this way, which makes sense because quarter-inch drives are going to require more turning power than their counterpart for the 4mm side. So actually put it in the right spot. I mean, I give them that. They actually had some foresight in building this tool, and they've done an excellent job of it. The finish is great. Looks like they do a little bit of laser etching on here for the pin driver TG there. Got a press pin. All this machine works is actually beautiful. Very nice. Great, huge neodymium magnet in the bottom, both ends. You to slide this guy around to whatever end you're working on. There's nothing special about him. He's just stainless steel. But if you leave him packed away, and you just carry this Phillips in the end here, you could easily just carry this in your pocket or on your person. If you don't like this leash, pull it off. That's fine too. But yeah, you have your bit storage inside there, and it barely, this one barely pokes out the top. But if you take this lanyard off, I think what I'm going to do, or this wire, off, I think I'm just going to run it through at a 90, keep it tight in the corner so it doesn't, because it wants to bind a little bit. I mean, it's not the end of the world, guys. You'll figure out a solution for yours. But if you just take that off, then this looks like a pin. And then speaking of pin, I had an idea, and this isn't the best example, but I just want to show you. Because of the depth of that, I was actually interested in, on this end, especially since it's protected, is what if I could find a way to basically get a pin down inside there. Now this one's too small, and I think, well, maybe this might work if I heated it up and melted it and stuck it in there, but let me know if you guys are interested. I mean, I could go the depth of to there. So yeah, I probably have to cut it off right about where my finger is at, my fingernail. So that might heat up and go in there, but it's going to be a mess if I try to chop that up. But no, that's my thought, is like, this would be actually an awesome pin to write with, but also to use as a tool. I don't know. There's just some thoughts go through my head. What do you guys think? Is that a good option? Would that be something you guys are interested in? And now the other one, this one is going to be just a couple dollars more expensive than this one. I think it's just all the work that goes into the design. It's got a nice hourglass shape here. It's the pin driver TS for this one. Really good knurling down here. This is really exceptional. I think if you want to use the 1/4-inch side, this is the better side. And then that pivot piece is actually a loop or a key ring. So everything else is going to be the same as far as the mechanics inside. The pin, that's using the same piece of metal. They're both the same length overall when you put them side by side, except for, I guess it's slightly a bit larger on the end here. They just left a little bit more machined metal on the end. But I would say for this one, it's not as, it's a little thin, so it's a little harder to use. But I like that knurling on the end here. This is really good knurling in comparison. I mean, this is still good. I don't know, maybe they're close. You could bite in harder with that, but this is very finite and grippier at a lighter touch. So I prefer that initially. But there's your differences side by side. And then the side that I think makes the difference is this side, if you're going to use the 1/4-inch drive. That's where I think it makes the biggest difference, is you have knurling on this side, whereas on this side, you don't. It's more like that diamond cut. Like, you can grab here in the pivot. That does work. But I think, yeah, I think it's better in that respect. But this one's definitely a little bit more flashier, I think, than this one. Whereas this one I think is a little bit more utilitarian, and it's a couple bucks cheaper overall. Now there are a couple limitations. You're not going to be able to use the super short bits in there because they're not going to go all the way down. So if you got any Klein stubbies, they don't work. You want to use your standard 1-inch for it to actually reach the magnet in the bottom. But yeah, anything 1/4 inch you want to throw on there and run, it fits in there. That's at least the 1-inch length. And maybe you're into those Klein little bits here, the impact socket set, you could run that on there as well and just stack them up if you're into something that long and stacked. But I think for most people, they probably have a couple that they like to use, and they'll just run that tool in the end of it, or the pin ID as well. I don't know. So what you guys think? Leave some comments down below. You may also ask yourself, well, work with these reversible bits, right? These smaller 1/4 inch drive ones. You just go ahead and toss it in there. And in this case, it's just ever so shy. I mean, it'll hold it magnetically. It's a little hard, but there's not much material on that end. Let's try the flathead side. Yeah, it holds it. So it will work. So that will help you if you want to do a double whammy, 2-in-1. But with this set up this way, it's just going to have to be out, because that's not going to fit on the other end. Or it will. I guess you can make it fit on this end. It'll hold on to it, but it's going to pull that right out of there. So if you do want to carry it that way and close off the end, I guess you can, but not the most feasible way. Another thing you guys could do too is if you have, say, a dedicated driver. Now, not all these work. None of these were working with it because it just doesn't go in far enough to get the retention. So it's a little bit shallower. But in this case of this Craftsman, you could actually take it and place it right inside here. It bites in, it engages, and then you can throw whatever you want on the end of it. And now it works. And then you could also still use it at a 90. Obviously, it just won't ratchet. It becomes a usable tool. And a little bit flashier, nicer one. But that's going to be it for this little pin driver. I think they're actually super neat. I think it's a great idea that they came on board. And for now, I think I'm going to just outfit mine like this. Put the 4mm in the end. Of course, I pick a PZ. So much for being Phillips, but I'll switch that out and put the right one in. But that makes it really tight, compact, easy to carry, easy to use. And this one, you can actually use as, I guess you could kind of use this one as a lanyard hold or a keyring hold. The only problem is it's decently strong, but I'd just be worried about dropping off this whole thing because you have it held like that. I don't know. I don't know that I loved that this came out like this. I almost wish that they made this a hex, because then you can actually turn it into a bit holder sideways and kind of use it in that direction. If you're going to go ahead and make that circle, you're not that far off from turning that into a hex. Turn that into a hex, guys. Make it even that much more versatile. I think that'd be pretty cool. But I think a home run. I think they did a good job. But what do you guys think? Pricing wise, so get these on Amazon. I'll put links for all these down below for you guys to go check them out. But pricing wise, I think this one's like $42 and this one's like $39. Definitely not on the cheap end, but if you want something that's machined and actually built really nice, these are actually really good tools. The 7-Eleven's done a good job taking these up a notch for sure, and they're super cool. Yeah, guys, tell me your thoughts down below. What do you think? Good idea? Not a good idea? And your next video is going to be this one, so hang tight. I'm going to do this one in conjunction with this here next.